mercy to the one who hurts us, forgiving the person who cheated us, loving the one who hated us. All these characteristics would sound difficult, but are not impossible. If a person possesses these qualities, then he is blessed with the highest of all virtues. Hello everyone, my name is Baanipreet Kaur, and today I'm going to talk to you on one of the purest and the noblest impulses. Yes, it is none other than compassion. I believe that every child imbibes the value of compassion from his mother. So did I. My mother loved me unconditionally, and that's how I learned to love, share and care with my sibling and the people around me. As long as I was in that cocoon, I was completely under the care of my mother. My life was a bliss. I vividly remember my kindergarten days when my compassionate teacher would shower love on me. How like a pampered toddler, I would cry and weep while my mother would drop me in the kindergarten just so that I can win her love. I was so happy and content in that phase. The problem gradually began as I grew up and stepped into this chaotic world and found myself amongst variety of people who were not my family and had a different outlook to life. With every passing year, I found myself surrounded by people who only seemed to be focused on their desires without even caring for others. My most embarrassing and bitter experiences were when people would make fun of my protruding teeth. I would wonder, how can people be so cold and heartless? Are they so perfect that they enjoy finding out faults in others? But my mother told me to be compassionate and show mercy even to those who hurt you. So I forgave them, and I was so relieved and emotionally stable that I learned my first lesson that showing compassion doesn't only make you emotionally strong but also gives you inner peace. I would also like to quote another incident when I was 7 years old. I was accompanied to the mall by my mother and my younger sister. We entered a shoe shop when my younger sister told my mother that she wanted to go to the washroom. My mother instructed me to stay in that shop till she came back. But I somehow was so engrossed in finding out the best pick that I overlooked her instructions. After 5 minutes, I came back happily to tell her that I had found my best choice, but found that she was nowhere. I looked around, but I could not find her, and I started weeping. A kind lady who had also come to buy shoes on that store took pity on me and asked that why I was weeping. I told her that I was lost. The kind lady asked the store boy if the vicinity of public announcement was possible. The store boy thought for a while and then guided us to a room. But probably that day was bad. We found that room locked. By that time, I was crying hysterically, my cries putting the lady to shame. So we both came back to the shoe shop where my mother had first left me. And lo, there I saw my mother holding the hand of my younger sister and scolding the people in the shop for letting me go with an unknown stranger. I was so relieved and happy that my search for mom was over. I rushed and hugged her. My savior told my mother the whole story, that how she had found me crying. The important thing that she told me was that my plight reminded her of her own situation when she as a child was lost in a fear and was united to her parents by an unknown and a kind-hearted stranger. That lady was unknown to me. She stood in the mall for me, not caring for her own personal work, but wiped my tears. I learned the second lesson that the ones who receive compassion are the ones who shower compassion. I learned a second lesson that compassion does not mean showing love out of convenience, but showing love out of sacrifice. The impact of receiving compassion made me even more compassionate to other people. I found happiness in caring and sharing for those who were in my need. My mother even received a compliment that I had encouraged a friend of mine to be compassionate to her sister. The message is clear that compassion is a chain which spreads. It is true that compassion is the purest and the noblest impulses of the human heart, which uplifts us out of perishable dust and rouses the dormant divinity within us. The more we care for the happiness of others, the greater our own sense of well-being becomes. I would wonder, even though we have compassionate people in this world, then why do we find cases of bullying, road rage, and religious intolerance? It's because we are not a part of the chain of spreading compassion. We turn a blind eye to the fact that we are sent into this world to spread happiness and brotherhood. My dear friends, we have role models like Mother Teresa for the epitome of compassion. Let the fire of compassion not die out in you. If we show this inherent quality towards human beings, animals, forests, and in everyday life, then this world will become a heaven to live. At the end, I would like to quote Your Holiness Dalai Lama, who said, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without these, humanity can't survive." So friends, why don't you give up selfishness and be compassionate to all? Why aren't you the next step to take the chain of spreading compassion? Thank you.